they fit into the same single answer, that the rivalry between the Muslim political world and the Western political world, which once was described as Christian political world, continues to play a very important role in the relationship between the Muslim countries and the Western countries. It had never ceased. It was only subdued because of Russian polarization against the Americans or the Western. So whatever was as an undercurrent has come to the surface. That's all the change we have seen. Thank you.
Okay.
Second question, please.
Yes. Might be just a summary of what you have just said. Now, what is Islam doing or should do about this situation in which we find ourselves?
Which
Jihad
Islam?
These days is not. Now, I'm not referring to the Ahmadiyya movement.
No, I understand.
Yeah.
But when you refer to Islam, the question is still
Muslims, yeah.
Muslims should do.
Yeah.
The best answer is for them to combine politically, not religiously. Because if you wait for their religious deviance to be, or differences to be sorted out, so that they can make one single religious entity, you will wait till eternity.
That's true. That's true.
Right? So the best answer, alternative answer is that they should strive for forging a political unity among the Muslims, in which the religious differences must not be permitted to play a role. If this is accepted as a whole to the Muslim world, then a really new world order can begin to emerge, not otherwise. But unfortunately, the major opponents to this only formula of survival would be the mullahs, the religious clergy of Islam itself, because they thrive on religious differences. Right or wrong?
That's quite true. That's quite true. That's what gives them their eminence.
Yes.
Okay. Can I just briefly ask the second question?
Yeah.
The second question is, where is the difference between worship and prayer? I'm asking this. Maybe some of us who have read the pamphlet Salat will see that in some areas these two were just opposed. Whereas to my mind, the difference between worship and prayer is actually the basic difference between Islam and other religions. I am of the opinion that those who translated the Quran initially have got at the back of their mind another, religious training, which they used, which influenced, wittingly or unwittingly, their translation of the Quran.
Right. Yes.
Prayer, I think, is optional.
Prayer. And worship?
Worship is compulsory. When you talk about prayer, just use it in the ordinary day thing. If you have something, I can pray your office to please do and such a thing. I have a request. But in Islam, there is the difference between Islam and other religions. If you believe in destiny, you may not pray. You may not ask God. If you ask God for anything, it's your choice. But you must worship Him. It is compulsory and it's stipulated. You got to do it 5 times a day. So
and
I think
where lies the difference? Where lies the difference between Islam and other religions, as you said earlier? Is it in the area of worship or some other area?
Oh, there are other areas. But when you talk about worship, Islam makes it compulsory that you must worship God.
What about other religions?
I've listened to other people saying, look, I'm going for morning prayer. We're going for evening prayer. And when you get in for the evening prayer or the morning prayer, all you do is, pray. But you don't pray and say, God, please give yourself money. You pray for yourself. You ask from Him. Worship is what he demanded you to give to him.
Nobody can give anything to God.
No. But what he demanded is that I've created you to worship me. And you must worship. It's compulsory.
Why? Just to pay homage to him so that he can sit, relax and enjoy.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't eat salat.
You see, the word worship is an English term.
Okay, that's what I want to clarify.
Yes. It is not the Arabic term used to indicate the English terminology of worship.
Good.
The word ibadah is the word used by the Holy Quran. And in that, the Holy Quran does not make any distinction whatsoever between Islam and other religions prior to it. In fact, it categorically declares that all the religions which are revealed before, they had certain characteristics. And the characteristic regarding worship, I'm going to quote from the Holy Quran. وَمَا أُمِرُوا إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُوا اللَّهَ مُخْلِصِينَ لَهُ الدِّينَ وَنَفَعَ. And they were not ordered but to worship Allah. And yabudu, hunafa, with total dedication, having no ulterior motive of any sort which could divert their worship to other than God, even their own purposes. So worship is completely and totally dedicated to the memory of God. And in this, the Holy Quran says, all other religions which came before shared this central aspect of religions. And there is no difference between that and Islam. The difference is in the style of some forms of worship. When we say prayer, that is a word which is of two types. It refers to a single individual prayer, like raising hands, or even in your heart, you beg Allah for something. The word prayer is applicable to that beseeching to Allah and begging for Him. But it also is a religious term which applies to the 5 times prayers which Islam requires the Muslims to perform, and plus other prayers. Now this is formalized worship, and it's a part of the worship, not the entire worship.
Yeah.
So when you speak of prayers, the prayer does not in Islam mean only to pray to Allah for anything you like. It particularly refers to the organized style of worship as referred to in the Holy Quran by the word as-salat. So salat is one aspect of the English word prayer, which is covered by the English word prayer. And the second aspect which is not covered is dua. And the Holy Quran, speaking of dua and its importance, says, قُلْ مَا يَعْبَعُ بِكُمْ رَبِّي لَوْلَا دُعَاؤُكُمْ. Tell them, what would God care for you? Why should God care for you if you don't pray to Him? There is not worship here. It is dua. In stress, in all sorts of problems, when you pray to Allah, He listens to you. And that indicates that your prayer is for yourself, not for the sake of Allah. The Holy Quran says, Ud'uni astajib lakum. Pray to me, and I am going to answer that prayer. Now, this is a very vast subject which cannot be dealt with here. I have been speaking on this subject during my sermons, Friday sermon khutbah, and it turned into a long series. So if you could have access, and you can easily have access to those video and audio recordings, then find time